Hi folks, and welcome back to Plkitty Catnip Play for this Friday, July 4th. So we've got some fireworks going on here in the middle of Stormwind to celebrate, and also some drink. So I guess I should pick up a festive mug. Gotta fill her up. Woo! All right. Let's get this party started. So we are looking at raiding with leashes today. We just finished doing Blackwing Lair and having a look at the pets that are available there. We did get one that dropped. Unfortunately, we both already had it, so we will be putting that up on auction so that somebody else can enjoy it. Also, I don't know if guess I didn't share with you guys, but I did actually get the Frigid Frostling from the Midsummer Fire Festival, which is still on today and tomorrow, so you still get a chance to get that from doing the Lord Ahun battle. But tonight we are going to go to AQ and check out the fights there. I already have most of the pets there, but I am still needing the one from Vicidius. Vicidius?
Vicidius, yeah.
Yeah. So I am going to actually just realize that I don't have my achievements up here, so we are going to bring that up so we can keep track. So under the pet battles collect, raiding with leashes. That's what we're looking at today. So Vicidius Globule is the one that I am looking for, but there are a number of different ones there, so we'll have a look at that. So also, I just did a couple of tweaks to my set today, or this week. So I got some fancy new shoulders and a new cloak to accentuate my frosty look. And my pet is awesome because he actually throws snowballs at myself and my pet. I believe my party members as well.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
It will actually snow on them. So it's pretty cool. So let's open up a portal to
Theramore. And not a teleport, a portal.
Classic mistake. I don't think I did that more than once or twice in my 10 years of playing. But when you make that mistake, you feel pretty stupid. So... Are you on your albino drake too?
Yep.
That's funny.
Yeah, I don't really have a mount that I'm really terribly happy with in terms of having that paladin feel.
Yeah. Do you have the fast flying?
Do I have fast flying?
The fastest of the fastest?
No, I do not. I don't have Cloud Serpent riding either. Oh, I guess you don't get that until you've done that, so.
Yeah, you have to do the whole quests
Yeah.
line to be able to get that. It's a faction thing.
Yeah.
I do have it on Tig and... No, on Tiggy and on Clary I have it on. But not on Tig, I
Yeah,
don't
better
think.
than Grimjam and Pietro.
So I've
For
only
their
gone
Cloud
through.
Serpent riding, so.
Yeah, I do
I don't-
have the like reputation gains to get it faster, but it still takes a little bit to get it.
Yeah.
And I've just been focusing on other things when I'm actually playing. This is feeling very familiar, of course, because I just did all of the um, bonfires for
Yeah.
Kalimdor, Eastern Kingdoms, and Pandaria. So this is feeling super slow though because I did buy the fastest flying because I'm super stingy and hadn't bought it on anyone until this point. So I just recently bought it just for the purposes of doing the bonfires because I knew it would be excruciating otherwise. And so now this
Yeah.
is feeling super slow.
Yeah. I almost bought it on Acacia earlier this week, only because I have the money to do it. I'm like, maybe I should just buy that. So,
Yeah.
I don't know how many characters I've got on. I think I've got on Wyndham, Grim Jim. I think maybe just those two.
Yeah.
I don't know. I should probably figure that out and see who else needs it.
Yeah, and I mean, it also kind of comes down to what are you going to be using the most to actually fly around. So for me, if I'm going to spend the gold, I would rather do it for characters who are gatherers, who I might
Yeah.
actually go through and try to collect resources for. So I still have characters who actually have to level up some of their professions. For instance, we paid to get the next expansion, which in part of that package, you actually get an automatic level 90. So I chose to do it with a brand new character, which means that brand new character now has to start from scratch doing their professions. So as a
And you don't
result,
have your yeah, you slacker. You don't have your professions done yet on your character.
no, you got yours done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't exactly focused on that. But I could say, how many pets do you have at level 25?
Shut.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have a total level of 25 levels across my pets. I don't know.
Well, I'm pretty sure you have more than 25 pets, so probably.
Oh, where are we going here? Oh, I went the wrong way. Where are you at? Oh, you're already down there.
Yeah. So, Ahn'Qiraj, for those of you who may not have been playing WoW back when it actually started, there was actually a really huge like world events to open up this big gate here, right?
Yep.
And oh, there's a rare here
Where?
at the gate at the scarab wall. Do we have to kill him?
Oops.
You smacked him in the face.
Yeah, I did.
Anyway, so we had to like do all kinds of crazy stuff to get this to open. Do you remember some of the stuff? So there was like
Well, yeah, you had to turn in stacks of cloth and stacks
yeah,
of
like
metal and
bandages, and so
yeah.
all kinds of different resources. Uh,
It was
and
a real war effort thing, right? Like you were
yeah.
trying to get an expedition into this desert area, and so you had to collect all of these different items and
Oh,
uh,
that's a nice pet. I might have. I don't have that one. I'll have to get that.
try to get them to. Yeah, it's only level 16 too. You should do that right now.
Yeah. Do you guys
Well,
want to
I,
see me do a pet battle?
it's only
Actually,
gray level though, isn't it? Or it doesn't matter to you. Where'd it come? Oh, it's right there. Is it gray? No, it's green. Is it green?
you don't know until you start.
Huh. I thought you could tell the look
You
at.
can when you start playing. Okay, so all of my people, I have a bad habit of like I'll get in and then realize, oh, I've had downgraded my pets or yeah. So see, this one is gray, so I will abandon. You can now abandon. It doesn't get rid of the pet, so somebody else could try and get it, and if they don't care,
Yeah, there's another one up here.
yeah.
Or there might be a bunch of them. I don't know. I'm not tracking the pets. So.
This is one of the tricky things, though, is sometimes there's obstructions. So this is just a white one, but I might actually just go for it just so I have a copy of it. We can have a look at. It's always a tricky thing, though, when you have, like, max level.
Yeah, you don't want to kill it.
Yeah.
What level are your guys'? What level are you guys?
25.
Ahn'Qiraj is not dead already.
Well, I'm trying not to, like, do max damage, which sometimes works for me and sometimes doesn't.
Oh, I don't see his health. Yes, I do. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah, that's something that they added in later, too, that you couldn't actually
There you go.
see other people.
There, now you can smoke these guys.
I love my big tidal wave. It's fun. Bring out my Yeti.
Yeti.
The Yeti. He's really one of my favorites. There we go.
There you go.
Cool.
Nice little mini pet to have. Looks cool.
Yeah. I mean, I try to go for the rare. Like, I've spent a bunch of time trying to get the rares and trying to get all of the pets from each zone.
Yeah.
But I don't want to waste a bunch of time doing that right now.
Yeah. And just in case you decide to edit that part out and make it a separate video, welcome to Ahn'Qiraj.
So, as I was starting to talk about earlier, you had to do all of these things. So one of the things, so there, you had to, the red snapper, right? The video?
Yeah, kind of like that, yeah.
Yeah. And so there's two separate raids for this zone. There's one that is a 20-man, or was a 20-man, and one that was a 40-man.
Was it a 20-man or was it a 10-man? I can't remember. I guess 20-man. Yeah.
I gotta be careful not to kill myself.
So these big guys, the idols, they're known as, their big gimmick was each of the four had an ability. When you killed one, whatever ability you killed, the remaining three got it. Then when you killed that one, the remaining two got both of those abilities, and so on. So instead of having four creatures with four different abilities, you end up with one big creature who had all four abilities. So made for some interesting fights.
Yeah.
But was never really too much in terms of a pain.
And these cool mounts you could only use in this zone.
Yeah.
But the there was one person who was awarded a special mount that they could actually use anywhere at the opening of the gate.
Yeah. And from our server, it was Rafferty.
Mm-hmm.
Warlock.
Was actually part of the huge raid organization that we belonged to.
Yep. This boss does a mind control thing, similar to what we saw with Kael'thas at one time, but he also splits up into 3. 2 of them are false images with fewer hit points than the one regular one, so you kind of had to determine which one's the real one and kill the other 2 really quickly, so he won't last too long, I don't think, here.
It's a cute staff. I'll take that. And these coffer keys allow you to open coffers throughout the instance that give you items. Because in this instance, I guess this was probably the first one that we saw that actually gave you like the tokens, not the gear. Right?
Yeah, because this came before Nax.
Yeah.
So this dungeon, more than some of the other ones, is huge geographically. Like, there's a lot of ground space that we cover. We can ride our mounts inside quite often. So that's why I put the markers on. It's just so that I can kind of keep track of where she's at.
Yeah.
I get lost very easily here. So.
Yeah, and we'll bypass actually some of the bosses here.
Yeah.
Because some of them are optional anyway. But as I was saying, so the gear was stuff that you got tokens, but you didn't only have to use like tokens, you also had to get the rep and also have these ingredients that you get from these coffers.
Yeah. Not a mechanic I was a fan of at all.
No, it was pretty awful.
You know, I understand the concept of, hey, you get this component that you then have to make your special armor or weapons out of. I can understand the appeal of it, but then to require, but before you can even do that, you need to spend, 15, 20 hours in here killing things to get the reputation you need to make it. It's a horrible, horrible combination.
Yeah, I mean, back when we were raiding it, it took us so long to, like, because we were learning the raid, right? Like,
yeah.
We didn't already know the mechanics. We were at the appropriate level, so it was very challenging. Yeah. So we ran it enough times that it was no problem. So Tig here, who is actually my original vanilla character, I raided AQ with back when it was a learning raid. And so she got the rep no problem, and she actually has her full set, which I do sometimes wear just because it's not a set that people really try to go back and get, just because it is so challenging to get now.
Yeah, and it's not that it's challenging in terms of, the fights are difficult. It's just the time commitment. You're going to have to raid it probably 15, 20 times to get the reputation you need to make the armor. And for some of the armor sets were just downright ugly from this zone. Right, they were very insect-looking and based, and I don't know, dude. Wow, interesting.
Those are kind of interesting plate pieces.
Yeah, they are. So, just like horrible combinations, in my opinion.
You do get these insignias, which you can turn in.
But again,
but it still takes a really long time.
Yeah.
And just so you guys know, I just want to bring up the Okay. So I just wanted to bring up the pet menu again. So the very first boss that we fought actually does drop the mini Mind Slayer, which is a super cool pet and is one that I often use with my Shadow Priest, who I will be using for the next video where we do Nax. So I will bring that pet out just so that you can see it.
I got it.
Oh, you got it there? Yeah, so it's pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah.
And as a gnome, if I stand next to it, like you can kind of see, it's pretty much the same size as I am, except for my massive head. So that's kind of cool.
And so then this is the other pet. Oh, I thought I had it. I don't have it. It was Seth.
I do.
Yeah.
So
we'll talk about it when we get there, I guess.
Yeah. So that does drop off of the Emperor. All right.
Yeah. So this was the point in World of Warcraft where you were actually further ahead than I was in terms of raiding, because at that point I was leading one of the raid groups as a caster lead, so I was leading all the warlocks, giving out assignments and things like that. Because again, we're talking about 40 people, and so we were responsible for about 4 or 5 people each for each class, and so I was leading community raids. They were lower level raids, but I was making sure that the lower level raids were still getting the attention they needed from a community perspective, because that's where you get new players from. And Allison had moved on to the higher tier raids and had done fights that I had never done before. Like there might be the odd weekend here or there where I'd be able to join her if they needed an extra player, and I wasn't already committed to leading something. So
yeah, it was one of the only times in World of Warcraft where I was ahead of you in terms of raiding. And I really enjoyed it because I really enjoy being part of a dedicated group. And so back in the day, so we're talking about Leftovers is the huge organization. And it was featured on WoW Insider before, when it was hugely popular and innovative, I guess, at the time. So I was offered the same position as my husband was, to be a lead for the Molten Core groups. Yeah, I was waiting to get them all at the end because it's more fun that way. So I was offered to be able to do that as well, or to join the learning raids to be able to do this. And when I say learning raids, that means you may not actually successfully kill anything at any time. Because you're learning the fights. You don't know the mechanics yet. You sometimes can't even necessarily go on, Wowhead or WoWWiki and, find the strategies because they're still being written.
Yeah.
So, it's something that you have to invest a lot of time, money, and energy into, because you would have to make sure that you had the top gear, that you had potions at all times, both for like buffs and for mana and health and all of that, as well as any other like enchantments and all of that stuff too. So it was pretty heavy in requirements.
Yep.
So are we going to go and do the one that I actually need first?
Is that up here?
Yeah.
Oh, he's up there. I don't know where he's at. So
yeah,
once again, that part about me getting lost. So
yeah, and that part about because this was something that I did on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
For a long period of time, I know the map quite well.
Yeah.
So.
Oh.
Uh-oh, you fell down.
Oh.
So this was a unique boss where you actually needed to have a frost individual, somebody who actually uses the frost
What is
school.
going on?
Did you keep falling down?
I've fallen down 3 times. No wonder I was never with your raid group.
So, and you're the one that's good at platforms, not me.
Yeah, no kidding, eh?
So yes, you have to freeze this guy. in order to be able to kill him.
Yeah, so this is one of those gimmicky fights where, as a paladin, I can easily do the damage required to kill him. But because I don't have frost damage, there comes a point where I can't get him below 0 health. Like, Alice is going to freeze him here very shortly, and then we can do a lot of damage to him quickly. But
I think it still actually has to be physical damage. So it's like the combination of frost and physical damage.
yeah, but when you get him down to 0%, all you can do is freeze him. And if you can't freeze, it's a fight you can't win. So it's one of those rare, still existing gimmick fights where you very specifically need to have a...
But seems to me we were in here before where we had him frozen, and because you had to do physical damage, like he just stayed at 1.
Yeah, so he's frozen, now you gotta shatter him.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's
Raise him up.
Should I time warp? Why not?
Jeez.
I know, he's
Oh,
a
there we
toughie.
There we go.
And of course he didn't drop the pet.
No.
Those actually are some not bad gloves that might go with your red set.
Yeah, they are. Interesting. Wasn't really expecting to get a set of this, but, well, hey. I don't want those things. On to Princes.
Mm-hmm. This is another tricky fight. And you don't have that pet, you said.
I do not know.
Okay. Oh, I fell down this time. I knew it was going to happen. I doubt it.
What?
You will die. He's talking to me.
Yeah, this was one of those first instances too where, the final boss, Sethune, he whispers to you through the instance as you're running along. He'll whisper things to you individually, and it really kind of gave a pretty cool atmosphere.
I don't know. There was some in some earlier ones too. I
Well,
don't know about personally though. I guess.
No,
I'd talk through
the
it.
only earlier instances to this were Blackwing Lair and Molten Core. That was it.
No, but I think there, like, I'm trying to think of even like instances not raids.
No. No,
'Cause-
Sethune was absolutely unique in that. Wasn't until Lich King that they really brought that back again.
Yeah.
With individual whispers.
And so did we decide that we have to kill Princess or no? We can bypass
No,
her.
might as well. No, might as well kill her. Might drop something red from you. You never know. It takes 3 seconds.
We did decide that we have to kill all of the dudes before that.
Same thing's the other guy dropped. Lots of plate tonight. Excuse me. Thank you guys.
So many of those mounts. I have all of them already. And the hardest one to get was always the red one. And everybody wanted it because it was like the rare.
Yep. I don't understand why they don't open these mounts up to be used outside of the instance. I don't know what the technology problem is or what the, like, just a mount. I don't know what could be the problem.
Well, I mean, the same thing could be said for the seahorse. That's only usable in Vashir.
Yeah.
Like, that could be used in other bodies of water, right? But
I can wrap my head around why that doesn't work, because Vashir is very unique. Like,
yeah, I suppose
I can understand why, because that might not actually be water programmed the way that regular water is, because of the way it was done, right? With the running on the ground, because you don't do that kind of running any other zones.
lots and lots of mind control and reflex in this instance.
Yeah.
So the next boss is really tricky, and we've still had a bit of an issue with it because you have two bosses that share the same health pool. One who takes spell damage and one that takes physical damage. And it can be really hard to keep them separated, which you have to do.
Don't go in. Don't go in. Don't go in. Finish what you're saying.
Okay. Well, you can finish that thought if you'd like. I'm going to take a drink.
Okay. I just didn't want you to walk in because there's a picture of the boss, so I thought you maybe wanted to talk about the last boss before we go in. But in terms of the Emperors, one is immune to magical damage, and one is immune to physical damage. And so what Alice and I will need to do is we need to stand on the opposite sides of the room, because the twins will heal each other if they're within range of each other.
Yeah.
And every 10 or 15 seconds or so, they teleport and swap places. So at one point, I will have to fight something that's immune to physical damage, and she will have to fight something that's immune to magical. And we basically just kind of have to hold their attention for 15, 20 seconds until they teleport, and then we can do our damage. Then they teleport, we can't do anything. They teleport, we can do damage again. So it's what's called a control fight. It's not a race. It's just about maintaining control. Because if we do something that causes us to lose control, they get close to each other, they're going to heal themselves up again, and we're going to have to start over from scratch. So, but when we go into this room, you're going to see a vision of the final boss, S'thun. So you can go ahead out.
Okay. Tentacle party. She's a big giant eye. It's so creepy. Oh, jeez, I didn't remember him staying there for that long.
Yeah.
So it's really cool.
Yeah.
Another thing that happens is these bugs will actually get bigger and...
Yeah. You take left, I'll take right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I see ya. Do 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 do.
So we have 15 seconds until next teleport, so we might actually get a chance to burn them down. Do you want to pop time work?
Yeah, you'll get it from over there, will you?
I don't care about me. I'm almost done over here.
Oh, sweet.
There you go.
That was the easiest we've ever done it. We've really struggled with that before.
Yeah.
So this was the thing that I wanted above everything else. So back in the day when we were raiding, you had points that you were able to use, right? And I was one of those people that would like hoard my points because I really wanted to get this one item. I actually bypassed, so this would have been 2.5? Was it?
For what? What do you mean?
The set tier?
Yeah, 2.5.
Yeah. So I actually bypassed my 2 set just because I wanted to get the helm. Because it's a pointy crown, which I thought looked very like Ice Queen, and I loved it.
Yeah.
So
And
I
so when
do
she
have
talks
the
about,
set.
yeah, when we talk about like tier 2 sets, tier 1 sets, so the very first raid instance was the real raid instance was Molten 4, and it dropped armor weapons that was considered to be tier 1 level. It's the first level of gear. And then the second raid instance was Blackening Lair, and that was considered to be the second tier level. Meaning, in order to get through to tier 2 fights, the Blackening Lair fights, you really need to have most of your tier 1 set in order to be able to do it well. So, AQ was considered to be tier 2.5. It was a minor upgrade. It wasn't required to go on to the third tier of raiding, but it kind of gave you an alternate route of gearing up, I guess, is how you might say it.
And I remember the grind going through Morodin
Yeah.
over and over again to get the resistance gear. Did you actually want to complete the instance?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. Always.
By the way, my bags are full. So.
Hold on.
No, I'm just saying if you want to pick up any of that stuff.
No, I don't want to pick up that stuff, but hold on.
You gonna take your mount out?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's one of the nice things about being able to mount in here.
Sorry. It's not my fault you came here unprepared.
This stuff doesn't sell.
I can't help you with that. Destroy that stuff.
Oh, well,
You said it doesn't sell.
no, well, the stuff that I had.
Okay.
That sells. Let's save that. I don't know.
Oh, excuse me.
I'm not too concerned. So, can we go right to Suthun, or do we have to kill the other guy first?
Where else?
Yeah.
I don't know. Don't you want to kill him anyways? You get places to go or something?
What was that?
I said, you want to kill him anyways? You got places to go?
Well, sure, I guess. Why do I keep on picking up this stuff?
I don't know.
It's like the most useless trash stuff ever.
Yeah. be nice if you could even just sell it for like a 10 silver or something, just something to get it off your desk.
I don't know.
So left here for us. He says.
I find that the trash in here has a really big aggro box as well for, like, you know, you're so many levels above it, yet, like,
Yeah.
you were nowhere near it, but you still pulled everything.
Yeah. I think some of them might have like trip wires where you can go past a certain line, you just pull them immediately with. So
Yeah. So we didn't. No, that's weird. A lesser eternal.
yeah, it's kind of random.
Yeah. Radiant blade guards. Oh my god, I can't carry anymore.
Why are you picking stuff up?
I don't know.
There's nothing there you want.
I'm convinced that I may want it someday. I forget what I was gonna say now. This was a big mobility fight.
Yeah, and so this is one of those instances that became very, very trash focused. Like some of those trash packs between bosses, they were as bad as the boss themselves. Like just absolutely horrid. Why did we come here?
I don't know.
I don't want this time. I don't want that either. Disenchant that. Yeah, I don't know why we killed him. I'm sorry.
That gun's kind of neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's alright. Yeah, I mean, people were pretty quick to abandon this instance just because, you know, there wasn't that much here, and it's a lot of trash, and it's really big. It's really time consuming.
It's big. There's a lot of trash between bosses. The gear was ugly when you won it, and you couldn't transmog back then. So if you wanted to wear the best gear, you had to wear the ugly gear, and you know, just really just didn't have a lot going for it. So,
yeah, and this was another instance, or is another instance, that, you know, if they want people to come back and do this content, then they really should put teleports.
Yeah.
Because it is like, I have a mage here, which is great because when we're done, yeah, well, I mean, the thing is you could always teleport out afterwards because it took so long to do it. There's no way that, you know.
But if you died and you had to get caught up to the rest of the group,
oh my God.
Gosh, you're running for 10-15 minutes just to get there. So,
which, as a learning raid, is what I experienced a lot of. The entire raid, you know.
Yeah. So, now Blizzard has said that in the next expansion pack, of course, they're doing what they're calling ability pruning. So, when you open up your mage spellbook, you probably get about 40 different abilities there. That's going to be trimmed down to probably about 20 different abilities, and they're going to combine things, and so that you still have a lot of the core abilities, just that let's not make you have to cast 5 different spells to do one thing, or let's not give you 2 different spells to do the exact same thing, more importantly. So one of the things that they're talking about doing as well is rebalancing some of the fights or removing some of the mechanics that required specific combinations of pieces, like spells and things like that. So we'll see what that does.
Yeah, that's interesting because, I mean, that does come back to, you know, what you were talking about in the last video about, you know, the complaint that, things got too easy.
Yeah.
So that comes back to like not necessarily having to have strategies.
Yeah.
But I think that they are trying to maintain that in a different way.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
like even for instance, they had they have fights where like, the boss will drop items and then you have to pick up that item to like burst a bubble or, stuff like that.
Yeah. Are you attacking him or what?
I'm inside. Pew! Oh, these stupid tentacle claws that open up. Those are ugly gloves. They make you look like your skin's peeling off.
Hmm. And that is a Q.
That is a Q. All right, so clearly I need to do a reset and get rid of stuff in my bags. I don't know what's happening there. I know that I picked up some of these items before, and so I wanted to see if, because I think I wanted to pick up something on my priest. So I wanted to save some of those pieces just in case. So I am going to, why didn't the, oh, we're looking at the wrong way. The door's the other way. Doesn't matter, we're going to open a portal anyway.
Oh, okay.
So to Stormwind we go. Yeah, so I'm going to clear out my bags. We're going to do a reset, and then we'll be back here again in 5 minutes, and we're going to go through and do Nax. So just as a recap again, I'm going to actually click the portal before it disappears, and then I will bring up the pet menu again. So, pet menu. So the Abyssal dropped off of the Emperor, so that was the twins.
The Anubis-Hath. The Anubis-Hath idol.
Yeah, the Anubis-Hath idol is what I've got up right now. And I can...
You said the Abyssal, that's all. Carry on.
Abyssal, Anubis-Hath idol. I don't know why I said that. Apparently it's getting late. This is what he looks like. He's pretty big too, actually, which is kind of cool. So he's kind of neat looking.
She keeps saying these pets are big. It's really just that you're small.
I know, but as a small character, it's kind of fun to have other characters that look like they're kind of almost part of your party because they're like the same size as you. Anyways, he drops off of the twins that we fought that we were talking about how you have to keep them separated. You gotta keep them separated.
Settle down now.
And the mini Mindslayer dropped off of the very first boss, and the Vasidius Globule dropped off of course, the slime, which we sadly did not get today. So no further pets towards my raiding with leashes at this point. Hopefully we'll have some more luck in Naxxramas, which we will be going to after our short break, so hopefully you will join us again for that. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you again soon.
Bye.
Bye.